Today, let's look at 4 ways to deal with people who drain your energy. When you're still wondering what this is about, picture yourself when you're around a narcissist, somebody who's an overt narcissist and it's all about them. It's draining. Everything's about them. You're trying to listen. You're trying to sort things together. You can barely get a word in edgewise. Then that's an example of an energy drainer. But there's many more examples, and let's talk a little bit about this today. Basically, it's just people around us who are very negative. They leave us somehow feeling unhappy and we're not even sure why. Exhausted on some level. What's common of what you see is they don't want to take no for an answer. They're willing to pick an argument with you over the slightest thing, and they do want to argue. You can feel the energy. Complain about this, complain about that, on and on with the negativity. Always seem to be good at finding fault in you and others. Very poor boundaries. In fact, maybe no boundaries at all. You notice that you just feel like you're being sucked into a void. That's an energy drainer. So tip number 1 is don't play their game. Don't even entertain them. You don't want to go there. Part of you could be thinking you want to help them, you want to fix them. Somehow you want to make things easier for them. It's not going to work, but they'll be very happy to suck your energy as you're doing it. If you decide to go there, they're probably going to find even more and more reasons about what's wrong, or maybe specifically what you're doing wrong. So the help is actually a way for them to get more ammunition against you or against the topic. They love feeding on the negativity. Therapists see this as well, especially with people who have diagnosable personality disorders. The personality is not going to go away. They may bring up a particular issue that needs to be discussed and processed, but the overall personality is still there. That's why it's called a personality disorder. With personality disorders, therapists know we're going to have very little influence or be able to offer very little help. So maybe you know somebody like this, or you can pick up energy across the room. Maybe at a party, you can see what's going on. You want to stay clear. For people who have a good intuition, it's fairly easy sometimes to pick up on that energy, and you don't want anything to do with that. You might get pulled into a void. Which means number 2, you need to have very strong boundaries. With the strong boundaries, you don't want to reveal too much. If you reveal too much to an energy sucker, then it's a way to get in there even more with you and throw in negative energy into whatever you're discussing about your life. So you're going to have to watch everything out of your mouth. You're going to have to reveal very little. So this can be with family members, friends, coworkers, whoever it is. You may need to be creative to find ways to remove yourself from these situations. That's all you can really do. This may include even not attending certain events. Limit your contact in any way that you can. Number 3, begin to recognize the signs even more so. Really pay attention. The more you're aware, the more you can spot it, the more you can remove yourself and have your firm boundaries really in place real quickly if there's going to be some interaction. The reason for this is because you don't want to be the sacrificial lamb. Maybe you were raised by an overbearing parent where you just had to sit there and listen, sit there and take it. Maybe your father was a lecturer, always giving advice to everybody. There wasn't a lot of space for you growing up with your identity development, so you got used to just having to feel like you have to be there for everybody else. But now as an adult, you can practice having firm boundaries. Pay attention to any red flags you notice, which includes over-talking, lack of empathy, making it be all about them, being extra negative. The glass is always half empty, never half full. Anything along this line will help you have insight and be creative in finding ways to put up healthy boundaries in these situations. And the last tip, it's a good reminder to remind yourself that this is not how you want to be. Sometimes we need that kind of reminder. Whoa, I don't want to act like that. I don't want to behave like that person. And it's because you can see people scattering when this other person walks into the room. They don't want to be around that energy either. That's very sad, isn't it? So as you notice that, be aware for yourself. If you sometimes wonder, am I doing the same thing? Pay attention. You have a good role model there in terms of the energy drainer to remind yourself that you don't want to do those things with others. It'll be hard to maintain relationships, have intimate friendships, strong bonds with others if you're an energy vampire. If you're not sure what an energy vampire is exactly, think of someone in your life perhaps who you avoid in these ways, and then remind yourself that you want to do the opposite. So you want to be open and allow for two-way conversations and give people space and have boundaries and respect boundaries. And not everything in life is negative. Some things are, but some things are positive, and usually things are in the gray area anyhow. So a lot to think about here. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Do you have any energy vampires in your life? Please subscribe to my mental health YouTube channel if you like these kind of videos. And until next week, this is Brad Shore signing off from Ask a Shrunk.